Welcome to the Texas State Ingram Hall Makerspace. A makerspace is a place in which people with shared interests can gather to work together on projects while sharing ideas, equipment, and knowledge. The Ingram Hall Makerspace offers a variety of 3D printers, laser cutter etchers, CNC machines, and much more for student use to bring ideas to life. While generally safe to use, each of these machines has their own set of safety precautions that you must know about before using the space. When coming to the space, first check in with the student worker. They will verify that you've completed whatever necessary trainings you need and can check you out any specific tools. Let's begin with the Craftbot 3D printer. The Craftbot printer functions by melting plastic filament and pushing it through a heated nozzle. This melted plastic is then layered to create your object. It is important to note that the nozzle is heating the plastic to 200 degrees Celsius or almost 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Care should be taken not to touch the nozzle as it will burn you very quickly. The printers also use a heated bed to help the parts stick while printing. This bed is typically around 60 degrees Celsius or about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. While not really hot enough to burn you, touching the bed could result in some mild discomfort and should be kept to a minimum. The next tool available for use is the Universal Laser System. This laser allows you to etch designs into some materials or to completely cut through others. Using these lasers essentially burns the top layer of whatever material you are using. As such, the lasers are mounted to a vacuum system to reduce exposure to these fumes. It is very important to note that some materials release harmful fumes and should not be used with these lasers. The list of approved materials can be found on the Makerspace Track site or within the Makerspace itself. Be aware that if the material cannot be identified, it cannot be used in the laser. Lastly, being that this is a laser, you should never attempt to look directly into the laser beam. This can blind you permanently. The last major tool available is the Tormach 440 CNC mill. This machine uses a spinning cutting tool to remove material from a solid piece. The Tormach features a fully enclosed machining area with 2 cabinet doors on the front. At no time should the cutting head be spinning and the doors open. You should also refrain from inserting any piece of your body inside the machine without pressing the stop button to prevent accidental power on. The emergency stop should also be used in the event of an emergency. You will notice that around the base of the Tormachs and in several other spots in the makerspace that there are yellow and black marked off areas. At no time should anything be stored within these spaces. These spaces indicate designated machine use areas and the locations of important emergency equipment such as the fire extinguisher in the middle of the makerspace. Other notable emergency equipment includes the first aid kit located by the main entrance on the wall. Should you need to make use of this kit, inform the lab techs and they will assist you. The front room of the makerspace is intended to be a general use room. As such, PPE such as closed-toed shoes, pants, long sleeves, or safety glasses are not required. We do ask that you use common sense when using stools and ask a lab tech if you have any questions about what you are doing. Lastly, we ask that you clean up any scraps left behind when you are done by either using the vacuum or the dustpan so that the next student can have a clean machine to use. At this time, the large machine shop area of the makerspace is not available, and you should make no attempts to enter it without first consulting the lab techs. The makerspace is intended to be a fun place to explore your creativity. We do ask, however, that you limit your fun to safe limits, and at no time should there be any horsing around.